Alright guys, well a few days ago I gave you a sneak peek of this awesome box of vintage Pokemon cards I had bought. I've gone through the box now and I'm going to show you guys some of the highlights of the best stuff we pulled out of that box. So I actually drove about an hour away to meet this guy to buy this stuff. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. The guy was not very responsive. And as I said in my last video, you really couldn't tell what was there in the picture. It just said over 2,000 Pokemon cards. The price, it was going to be a lot if it was modern cards, but if it was old cards, it was well worth it. So I took a chance and I drove out there and I met the guy. So he told me that the box was actually, I believe he said his son's cards from back in the day. Okay, so not in the box or really advertised at all was also this Yu-Gi-Oh binder that's full of a bunch of different cards. So the guy said that he was a teacher back in the 90s and he would take up these cards from kids in class, and he just got himself this binder to put them in, and that's where it came from. So as you can see, I mean, there's some decent Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here. I don't know a lot about them, but that card right there, that's anywhere from a $10 to $60 card depending on condition. Has some condition issues, so probably not a super valuable card. That's anywhere from a $10 to $15 card. There is some good stuff in here, like the Shirachi card. I mean, that's probably a $10 card. Some of these old Digimon cards, from my experience, those aren't worth a whole lot of money. Nice Magnezone holo there. So most of the holos I got in this set are actually in this binder. Some various stuff in here. Some of this stuff is not really anything to write home about, like this Grotle. This Lapras is kind of cool. That's a promotional Lapras card. Nice holo there. More Yu-Gi-Oh! More vintage Digimon. Little Apom card. So, some neat Pokemon in here. The Pokemon in here are not super old. And this is the first thing I looked at, and I was like, well, I don't know. But we'll flip through these pages to show you what's here, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So lots of interesting stuff. This Leafeon card is pretty cool. Any of the evolutions are pretty hot right now. But lots of Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon cards in here, so I guess that's what his students were into. The Yu-Gi-Oh makes sense if it was mainly the 90s. Yu-Gi-Oh I think came out in the United States somewhere around 96, and Pokemon didn't really hit the US till 99. So that's those. So as you guys probably imagine, the huge stacks of energy cards were also in the box. I mean, it's probably over 1,000 energy cards right here. The guy advertised it as 2,000 plus cards, but I really think that it was more than that. I've not actually counted all these. I've sorted them into sets. Except for the energy, I just put those in big piles. But I think it's more like 3,000 or 4,000 cards here, probably. All right, next up, there's quite a few of the various Topps Pokemon's cards. So you can see there's a bunch of these. Moltres is probably the best one. Pikachu, Bulbasaur. There's a couple foils in there, this Magmar. No Charizard, which that's the most valuable one, obviously, but a good Venusaur in there, Raticate. These are pretty cool. Nice holo Poliwrath and Executor. But kind of neat to find those. Good holo Weezing. One of the little sticker cards. Various cards from the little movie packs they did. So, a lot of us back in the 90s had some of these cards, the Mewtwo Strikes Back cards. The condition is pretty good on these. The one thing is on some of these, I think these episode cards, is had some kind of sticky stuff on them. And so it's kind of messed up the cards a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, like that one. So I don't know if that'll clean off or not. A couple Pikachu's Vacation. This one's pretty neat. It's like a little see-through Squirtle card. I've never seen these before. And some Orange Islands cards. So those are kind of neat. These are pretty cool. These little holographic cards. So these, looking at the back of these, the only way to get these was they would actually come if you bought the movies. So if you got like the VHS and the DVDs. So these are probably actually pretty rare. I've not looked these up, but I think they're super cool. So that was pretty exciting when I found those in there. Let's see. This little Game Boy Pokemon battle card, like it was just instructions. So that's kind of neat. A little bit of random stuff. I'll go ahead and go through that. There's this one Star Wars card. It's not in good shape. Looks like it was a Topps card from when they started doing those 3 movies that they did. Kind of a stack full of these Topps basketball cards. I do not know much about sports cards. I know that some of them can be super valuable, obviously, but sports cards, similar to Pokemon, you kind of have to know what you're looking at, and I do not. So if you guys saw anything in here that's valuable, please let me know. And the last card that is not necessarily Pokemon, but is pretty cool, is, well, there's a Dragon Ball Z card in there, of all things. So this is pretty neat. I mean, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z back in the day. It's a pretty cool card. It's not in bad condition, so I might just keep that in my collection. Alright guys, so I'm not going to go through each and every one of the cards that we actually got in this. I'm going to show you the stacks of the different sets that I got, and at the very end of the video, I'm going to show you the pile of all the rare cards that we pulled out of it. You know, that way, you know, you're seeing the best stuff. But you can see this is an entire stack of base set cards. They're all in excellent condition. No shadowless, they all have the shadow, but very nice cards. And I mean, you know, that's probably, I don't know, probably a couple hundred of them right there. The base set 2 made up the biggest pile of all the cards that I got in this lot. You know, you can see that's, gosh, I don't even know. I bet there's probably, you know, 400, maybe 500 of these. I'd have to count them, but it's a lot of base set 2 cards. Once again, all in immaculate condition. So very cool to get those. All right, so there was also a lot of fossil set cards in here. I actually did count this little pile, and there's about 78. So that gives you some frame of reference that, you know, that base set 2, there probably was actually 300 or 400 cards in that set alone. Same thing with Jungle Set. There's actually more in Jungle Set. I'd say it's probably about 150 to 200 cards in Jungle Set that were in there. So very nice. So lots of Team Rocket set cards too. Probably about 150 to 200 of the Team Rocket set cards. Very, very cool stuff. I actually am really excited about getting some of these. I have been trying to complete my collections of some of the early sets. I had a bunch back in the day. And so, you know, there's a lot of cards I actually need in these. So that's very exciting. There is probably about 80 or so cards from the Gym Heroes set. A lot of these I don't have. I have some of them, but I am probably going to be keeping the majority of these. I'll trade off or sell some of the doubles, but that's really cool. Happy to have those. Also have about the same amount of the Gym Challenge set. And once again, there's a lot of these that I don't have. So I'm excited to have those for my personal collection. It's pretty cool to get those, some neat cards in there. So also a big stack of Neo Genesis cards. You know, this is probably the closest to being the same amount as base set 2 was. So several hundred cards. Very cool. You know, originally when I played Pokemon back in the day, Neo Genesis is kind of where I stopped until I've gotten back into it in recent years. But lots of cool cards in Neo Genesis. Neo Genesis was really one of the first one that went beyond that original 151 and started introducing new Pokemon. So, you know, now of course we have hundreds and hundreds, but really cool. Neo Genesis was kind of the first place we saw the amount of Pokemon start to expand. Okay, this next pile of probably a couple hundred is from Neo Discovery. So, you know, they got the little pyramid thing, looks like a little Mayan pyramid, or Aztec pyramid rather. Lots of cool cards in there. You know, I mean, like I've said, all these cards are in really good condition. There's a few sprinkled throughout these that, had some of the same issues that those Topps cards did, where it looked like some kind of sticky stuff had gotten on them at one point. So there's a few with condition issues, but for the most part, this entire box is in excellent shape. Okay, this next stack is Neo Discovery cards. I actually don't know a lot about the Neo Discovery set. Some cool artwork in some of these cards, and it's kind of interesting how they had like dark Pokemon mixed in with this one as well. So originally it was more the Team Rocket set where we'd see that, but they went beyond that and mixed them into some of these other sets. Lots of the unknown Pokemon are on this set, so that's pretty cool to have those. So pretty neat overall. And finally we get to our Neo Revelation cards. So good little stack of those, probably about 75 or so. Pretty neat cards. I'd actually not seen this set before, so that's pretty cool for me. It's a crazy looking Staryu. But yeah, so pretty exciting, more unknown in that one. Some of the more modern Pokemon you see a lot, like Octillery, started showing up in this set. So those are cool. And then we also have the Expedition set. These are interesting cards in that they have this border around them. You can see I even got a small stack of the energy cards that have that border. So back of them looks like a standard Pokemon card, but the front of all of them has that border on them. I don't know how common of a set this is. These, I've seen more of these in recent years, but I don't know, if it was a widely distributed set or not. But pretty cool overall. Nice to have something a little different in the collection. Love the art on that Bulbasaur. So now we are going to get into the really good stuff that was in there. So we will start out with the Legendary Collection cards. So there's not a lot of these in this set, but these can be valuable cards. I mean, if this one here was the reverse holo, it'd be like a $110 card or something. Unfortunately, it's not, so it's just worth a few bucks. But Dratini, Pikachu, Boss's Way, Dark Dragonairs, that's pretty neat. Tauros, Magnemite, a couple Magnemites, another Dratini, and a Voltorb. So not very many of those cards. But to be honest, I had never seen the Legendary Collection before I went through this box, so I'm pretty excited to have those. That's pretty cool. Another really interesting thing that was in there is these promotional cards. So this is the Southern Islands set. So from what I understand, this was just a promotional set. There's only 18 cards in the set, and there was 12 of them in this box. So these are valuable cards. I mean, the couple that I looked up on average sell for about $10. So this is a valuable find in this box. Very cool cards. From what I understand, they're pretty rare. I don't know what exactly they were promotional for, but pretty neat. It's cool on this one. You notice the art is actually the same on both of these. It's just different shots of the same picture, so that's kind of neat. It kind of makes you wonder if any of these other ones are the same way, but I guess it'd be hard to tell. So pretty cool there. Okay. And there was a small amount of first editions in there, so we have a nice first edition Slowpoke from the Fossil set. Really pretty good card, minimal chipping on the back, around the borders, so pretty good card. First edition Fossil Horsey. Once again, very nice on the back. First edition Mysterious Fossil. Actually, I already have several of this one in my collection. I don't know why. I don't know if people just didn't care as much about the first edition trainers or what. That's a nice card. Centering's not great, but it's pretty good. First edition Natu from Neo Genesis, so that's pretty cool. First edition Geodude from the Fossil set again. And then first edition Recycle from Fossil set. So most of these first editions are Fossil set, except for the one Neo Genesis. But love seeing some first editions in there. And then finally, we will go through the rare cards that were in there. Now, I will say the only holographic card that was in this box outside of the binder is this one, and I think just whoever owned this set did not realize it's holographic, because you kind of have to look close to tell. But as a trainer card, here comes Team Rocket from the Rocket set. So pretty cool to find a holo in there. This is not a super rare holo, but it is an early holo nonetheless. So nice to get that in there. Now the rest of these are rare cards, but they are not holographic. I haven't sorted these by the sets. I just kind of put all the rares into a pile to go through. So Lieutenant Surge's Jolteon, Mary from Neo Genesis, Alakazam, Pinsir, Lass, Mary again, Unknown W, Brock, Murkrow, Sabrina's Venomoth, Espeon. I'm curious to look at the value of this card because, like I said, the Evolutions cards are all hot right now, and that's one of the early examples of Espeon, so it'd be interesting to see. Giovanni, another Unknown W, Venomoth from base set 2. So like I said, I'm excited to get some of these, like Venomoth, for example. I needed that for my base set 2 collection, for my personal collection. Misty's Goldeen, didn't mention the Sizer there, Electrode, Houndour, Team Rocket's Dark Weezing, Vileplume, another one I needed for my jungle set there, Fortress, Jolteon from the jungle set, Gengar from Fossil, Snorlax. It's a shame these aren't holos because, some of these are really great holos, but, I'm happy just to have the rare. It's nice to have them for my collection. Vaporeon from the jungle set, Pokegear from Neo Genesis, Misty's Goldeen. I don't know how you say this name. Sisoween? I'm not gonna say it. I don't know. Butterfree, Dragonair. So I actually do have a couple different versions of this one. I have, I believe, the holo and the non-holo. So probably try and trade that off or sell it to get something else I need. Misty's Poliwrath, Sneasel, Item Finder. Once again, another one I needed for my base set collection. Energy Charge from Neo Genesis, Beedrill, Erica's Victory Bell, Giovanni's Pinsir. I really wish there had been a Giovanni's Nidoking in here. I reached out to one of my friends from, back when I first got into Pokemon, who was like my best friend at the time. We did Pokemon and stuff. We live in different states now, so we don't really talk much, but I reached out to him talking about Pokemon recently, and he said that's the card he always wanted. So I wish I had one in here, because I would just go ahead and send it to him, but I don't. Cleffa, Clefable, Mr. Mime, Nidoqueen, it's a good one. Light Machamp, Team Rocket Rainbow Energy, Magby, Venomoth from Jungle Set, Brock Zubat, Super Energy Retrieval, another Item Finder, Dark Macargo, Computer Search, Dark Vileplume, Hitmonlee from Fossil Set, Lieutenant Surge's Secret Plan, another Super Energy Removal, another Super Energy Removal, Koga's Pidgeotto, Kingdra, Flareon from Jungle Set, Kingdra again, Scoop Up, Murkrow, alright, Darkness Energy from Neo Genesis. If you remember on the other video I posted where we were doing a vintage buy, I actually had a first edition one of these. Ditto Fossil, Koga's Pidgeotto, another Dark Weezing, a Dugtrio, and Electrode. So this Electrode is not in very good shape. You can see a lot of wear around the edges. I did learn recently, watching a video online, these little flakes of dirt and stuff, if you take a microfiber towel or like one of the little glasses cleaning towels and just ever so slightly dab it in water and rub on these, they'll actually come off really good and don't damage the card. Some of you guys are probably going to think I'm crazy getting water anywhere near a card, but some of these cards are in excellent condition, except they have all these weird little dirt specks, and that's really the only way to get them off. So it's worked for me. You might want to try it, I don't know. And Dawn Fan from Neo Genesis. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Like I said, this is a huge vintage buy I did. I might count them up at some point and put in the comments or the description on the video how many cards were actually there. But very excited to get such a huge vintage lot, especially to get some really, pretty rare cards, not necessarily holographic, but like that Southern Islands set. I would wager to say there's not nearly as many of those out there. So pretty cool stuff. So, let me know in the comments if you guys like seeing these vintage finds videos. It's honestly one of the most exciting things for me about being a Pokemon collector is picking up these vintage boxes and going through them. I knew there wasn't going to be one in there, but like thinking about, oh, what could be in here? Could there be a holographic Charizard from, base set 1 or any of the early sets in there would have been really cool. So, it's pretty neat. I appreciate you guys, and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, thank you.